In the previous video, I imported data from the web into Excel using copy and paste. In this video, I want to do a web query. So to start out with, I'm going to go to the Data tab, and in the Get External Data group, I'm going to choose from Web, and I'm going to go to the National Eye Institute website, and I'm going to go down to Statistics and Data. Now, if you're following the instructions in the textbook, you will find that the instructions in the textbook no longer match the setup of the website. So, we can find statistics and data. However, we're not going to find a link called Data Tables. So I'm going to choose All Vision Impairment and click that link. And there will be, first of all, a chart. And then here's the table. And you'll notice that the table has a yellow arrow next to it. This arrow is what I'm going to click on to select the table to import into Excel. Now there are other tables in this particular web page that I could also import if I wanted to. In fact, I think I will import a few more just to demonstrate that. So I think I'll just import those 3 or 4. Once I've selected the tables that I want to import, then I click Import on the dialog box. The Import Data dialog box opens up. I can choose to put this in a different worksheet, or in my existing worksheet. I can also choose where I want the import to be placed. So I'm just going to go with the default, and it's working, and there are my tables. I've successfully imported them. So once I've imported a table or a text file or a CSV file, I've created a connection to the data source. And I can edit those connections by going to the Connections group on the Data tab and using the different commands. So I'm going to click on Properties, and the external data range has been given a default name, and I'm going to go ahead and change that to something that's more meaningful to me. Okay, so some of the things that we can do here is change the query definition. We can change how the query is refreshed. In other words, when the original data changes, our data will change as well when we refresh. I can change data formatting and layout. I can change down here if the number of rows in the data range changes upon refresh. How do I want that handled? And I'm going to choose to overwrite the existing cells with the new data. So I'm done with this particular dialog box. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to go to the Connections dialog box, which is another way that I can work with my connections, edit them. So you can see that connection is selected here, and that's the default name for the connection I just created to the NEI website. I'm going to click on this, Click here to see where the selected connections are used. That gives me information about that particular connection. I'm going to go to Properties now, and I'm going to do some editing to the connection properties, and I'm going to rename this NEI Statistics. And I could add a description here if I so desired. I can also change the refresh control and some other items. I can go to the definition tab, and I can edit the query itself. So if I wanted, for example, to not import one of these tables or add a different table, I can do that. And I'm just going to click OK and close these. And if I want to refresh my tables, say for example I've gone away from this workbook for a week or so and I want to make sure that my tables are current, I would go to the Refresh All button, click the down arrow and choose Refresh. So this will refresh the information on this worksheet. I don't think the information has changed in the last 5 minutes, but I'll go ahead and click on it anyway, and you can see that Excel was thinking there for a minute. And that is how you import data into an Excel spreadsheet from the web.